Hi everybody, this is Will here from Miro. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a developer advocate here on the Miro developer platform. And for today's developer Q&A, I wanted to cover a few features that we recently introduced in the Web SDK. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is the support for Get Online users. So right now I'm just on our changelog, which gives you a bit of detail on what this new method does. But this one's pretty straightforward. Essentially, it returns the names and IDs of users that are currently on a Miro board. So why is this important, or why is this cool? Well, this is really a first step towards collaborative apps and being able to mimic the experiences of applications that not just take actions on a Miro board, but really start to get into the realm of interactivity with users on a board and things of that nature. So for this particular method, I'm going to go ahead and go to the documentation where we have a few more details on it. And here you can see that, let me scroll up a little bit. Here we go. Get online users. So you can see the method is quite simple. It's await miro.board.getOnlineUsers, and it should return something like this. So let's go ahead and give this a try. I'm going to go to a fresh Miro board. And right now it's just me on here, so in the background I'm going to actually go to another account and join this same board. And now you can see we've got a second user here in addition to myself. And I'm going to go ahead and paste in this code snippet that I copied from the docs. And I don't really need this section here, so I'm just going to go save this method to a variable, which we'll call online users. And then if we type in online users and hit enter, we'll see this actually returns two objects. So we've got the first one, which is myself here in the yellow. And then we've got the second object, which is this other user called Whaley Test. That's just a test account. But it's pretty cool. Now we can start leveraging these methods in the SDK to get kind of real-time information on the users on a Miro board. This could unlock a number of different use cases, one of which could be like gamification or something along those lines. It could be, taking certain actions on the board or creating certain images or items based on the number of people or who's on a Miro board. There's a lot of different, options there. So that's the first feature I wanted to demo today. And then the second feature I wanted to demo was in regards to support for more shape types in the Web SDK. So we have introduced an experimental version of support for flowcharts, and this can be accessed within the experimental namespace in Miro's Web SDK. So things that are in this experimental namespace are perhaps a bit unstable, so certainly don't recommend them for production use, but many of these capabilities in the experimental namespace may someday get promoted to production. So don't rely on the experimental namespace, but it is a great way to preview new or upcoming features. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate how we can get more shape types now. So if I paste in this snippet, which is await miro.board.experimental.get with type shape, I'm going to temporarily remove the experimental and show you what's on production. So if I enter this method, you'll see I get an empty array returned. Let me make this a bit bigger. And here you can see that even though these shapes are on the board, they're not yet supported fully, right? Because at the moment, we support just these basic shapes, but we're working on adding more support, as you can see. So if we go ahead and access this same request within the experimental namespace, and then enter, you'll see we get several new shapes returned. And this is great because you can see that they're part of the flowchart, and we get more details on the shape, width, height, all those great things that we expect. So this is just an example of leveraging the experimental namespace to see what might be upcoming. In fact, if you type in await miro.board.experimental, we can see there's some other things in here as well. again, this is, really an experimental space, obviously, and you wouldn't want to rely on any of these capabilities yet, but it is a great way to see what we're working on or things that we want to share early. And that is basically it for today's demo. We've got lots of other, awesome things coming soon, so stay tuned to our changelog and our YouTube channel. Thanks a lot.